All right, let's switch gears, man.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
In life, I mean,
You had some topics you wanted to.
Fitness. No,
just
fitness.
wowed us with your fitness journey and expertise. Now you all burnt out.
No. I mean, I love debating. Like my
I ain't got no smoke here, bro. I ain't got no smoke for you, man. No smoke. No, I ain't got no smoke.
No smoke on what?
Whatever. You say you like to debate.
Oh,
Rashawn says I love to argue with people.
Just in the sense of, if I agree with you in certain aspects, I may just be a little devil's advocate just to see how strong you are or well-versed you are in your cause, right?
I'm always devil's advocate.
Yeah?
Oh, I get in trouble for it all the time. Because it comes off, and I haven't figured out how to do it tactfully. But I always dip on the other side of the argument by asking a question or posing a situation because and I'm like you said, I may even agree with what you're saying, but there's always something I don't agree with, even with the people that I agree mostly with. Yeah. It's always something in the line, because I look at it from like, okay, we can. I hate to use this example because people get so triggered. Say you're Republican and I'm a Democrat,
sure.
Right? I may be a Democrat, but there's a lot of shit I don't rock with.
Of course.
On that plane.
Do you think all Republicans get down with everything?
I know they don't, right. But I mean the con is that they do, but they don't. And well, for the first time in my life, I'm seeing now publicly that there's a big public discourse happening with them right now. Their heads are exploding all over the place. They fighting each other like it's a circular fire squad going on over there right now. Not to turn this political, but I was using that as an example to say that, yeah, I know they don't all agree, because there are degrees of things. For one thing,
right?
You may say, yeah, I think that all, and this is something. This is anecdotal. Somebody I know says this. I think that all drug addicts should be lined up in front of a firing squad.
Was that T?
No, it wasn't T. And I'm like, wait a minute. Don't want to do that to anybody. Now, I think that, or he would say, I think they all should be rounded up and put in a facility and made to go to a drug treatment and made to, get right.
Okay.
Well, me, from a personal and professional level, I know that doesn't work. You could do it all day long. They're just going to come out and they're going to find it or whatever, so it just doesn't work. Now, for those who really want it, you might get some of them, but that's not going to work.
Sure.
So I'm not doing that, but I agree that we need to do something, So I'm just using that as an example to say that, yeah, we may agree that, drug addicts, something need to be done with them, but you want to go that route. I'm not trying to go that route with it.
Do you, let's get a little political.
All right, let's do it.
Do you believe in capital punishment?
I have to say yes.
Okay.
But that's a very soft yes.
It's circumstantial, would you say?
Yeah, circumstantial. Yeah, but again, my attempt at going on the other side, because I always do this, is a perfect example of that question right there, because people always afford until it's their mama or their daddy.
Absolutely.
Or their brother went and did some shit,
Now, there are some people
and the same thing with crime and punishment.
But there are some people that are truly fair and will be like, no, they did that. They deserve it.
Yeah.
That's some people, I can easily play
That's what Rashawn said one day. I was like, we had about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, we had the same talk, a similar talk. And I was like, well, what about your mama? She'd have to go. I'm like, damn.
Sorry, mama.
I wasn't prepared for that, man.
Sorry, mama.
I was like, she'd have to go. I mean, I have to. I'm like, what the? You have no soul.
I don't want to get too personal, but I have there's an incident where I guess I'm putting out some of my personal life out there.
Yeah, just change the names.
Well, it's kind of tough. There's a person. Well, I'll be very, very general. Sorry, everybody, but I know an individual that did kill somebody driving.
Okay.
But they did not get charged with anything. They were freed because the individual that got killed had a suicide note at their home. I believe it was.
Wow, he had a good lawyer because that had nothing to do with it at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he had a good lawyer.
A person had a good lawyer, whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I was young.
I can see it right now, even as somebody who is not really well versed in law.
Yeah.
I can see it right now. The guy, this guy had and he just walked out in front of the car, you know?
You know, so it's kind of tough. Now,
Yeah, but was he drinking?
I want to say yes. I'm not too sure. I want to say yes.
Well, the reason I say that so there are caveats to it, and this is tied into what we're talking about. If he was drinking, was he being reckless? Was it an accident? Was he on his phone?
Right.
Did he just not see the guy?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, those are extenuating circumstances there.
I'll go a little bit further. Did he have a personal argument where he was so frustrated, wanted to hurt somebody, and he found that person that was a premeditation,
that you can't
right?
prove, though. You can't prove that.
Can you?
No. Ain't no way you can prove, unless you have 4 people at home that say, yeah, he left out of here mad and said that he was going to do it. You can't read.
But that can be proven, though.
Oh.
You just stated. Unless you have people who can be character witnesses that say, hey, yeah, we saw him leave.
And he was pissed off.
And he's like, I want to kill somebody.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless that's the...
But then that's a way. I'm just saying that.
Okay, I got you. All right, brother John, you throw me with a beat there. All right. Damn. You're trying to mind control me over here. You with the government, man.
Oh, wait, hey, don't put that out. That is not factual.
I know that is look.
Can we get a right at the bottom what he stated is factually untrue? That disclaimer real quick.
This guy is really not with the. Oh, you know what happened to the one guy last month? A couple months ago, we talked about it. The protest they had at that church in Minneapolis.
Oh, the report.
The Don Lemon thing.
Don Lemon.
Yeah, right. So the reason that this group was protesting in there was because the pastor is some kind of employee of ICE.
Yep.
Which I think was totally effed up that they would do something like that. It's totally off. Totally. So you're going to go to everybody who works for the federal government and any agency, and you're going to do something like that, right? Mm-hmm. It was performative, but I forgot my point.
What was performative? Don Lemon?
Yeah, I think that was
really?
the group that went there.
Oh, the group
that went
Probably.
into the thing. But Don Lemon, he was playing both sides. He's acting like he was just a reporter there. But clearly,
hold on. Is he a reporter first? First, he's a reporter, right? You know him as a reporter, excluding any personal views. He's a reporter.
Well, is he really now a reporter?
Does he need to be associated with a big company to be considered a reporter?
No, he doesn't. But
so what's
we all know that.
What's the problem?
Come on. Well, I'll tell you what the problem was. Mm-hmm. There are still, how shall I say? There are still, I won't say rules, but there are still guidelines that reporters and the press have to follow. Yes, they have freedom of the press, but they can't go into your personal house. They can't go into your home and stick a microphone in your face and say, I'm a reporter, I've got freedom of the press. They can't go on private property if they're not welcome or they're not invited.
Is the church private property?
It's considered private property. I'm glad you asked me that, my brother.
Oh, okay.
It's not a public place.
Now, is it acceptable when the person that is on that private property entertains the conversation and doesn't give any pushback? Did that pastor say, "Hey, Don, I need you to get out of here"? He expressly
he expressly said, "This ain't cool." He was not happy with it.
Okay.
He was like, "I don't want to talk about this."
Okay.
And Don Lemon kept putting the mic in his face.
Okay.
But look, Don Lemon played it. Okay. He went in with this group. Mm-hmm. This thing, the whole premeditation of it, it was. Now, can we prove that? He's got that buffer there, right?
Right.
So now he's playing it because, it's a legal situation.
Sure.
But that's the one point. That's the guidelines and law and whatever. I'm looking at it from a decency side and a moral side.
Yeah.
You're going into somebody's sanctuary, bro. You wearing your 20, 25 years of journalism, have you ever done that? Right. Gone into someone's sanctuary to put your microphone in people's face while they're having their service.
Sure.
That's decency, bro.
I won't disagree with that.
So
I won't disagree
you can hide behind, I'm with the press and I have carte blanche over whatever. Is it right? Could you have waited could you have caught the people going into the thing to ask them questions?
Sure.
Could you have caught that guy that they were really targeting this pastor because he's associated with it, he's an employee or something like that? What does that have to do with ICE? ICE got thousands of employees. You're going to go to everybody's job or everybody's place of leisure or whatever because they happen to be an employee for a governmental agency, one of hundreds of agencies that are doing all kind of crazy stuff to the society?
No, but
that's why I say it's performative.
Yeah, but I can see why he would do it at a church.
Yeah, opportunist, man.
Whether it's an opportunist or not, I'm looking past all that. I'm looking at, okay, that's a church. That is a huge place of influence. I may break some protocol, but I'm trying to understand what's really going on here. Because if I wait for you outside, are you guaranteed you're going to give me a conversation?
Well,
and I say that, and this is that little devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know. So you're playing me against myself here.
Check this. Where does that sit in your moral compass? Is that the biggest deal morally right now, or is it?
So because
current president and the morals they lead with that give us the example on who Americans should be or should, emulate.
Because I already have an opinion about this, because I'm already hardwired into my opinion, I'm going to say this. In the case of this guy, it probably could have been anybody, but in this case, it was Don Lemon. He saw an opportunity. He's at a crossroads in his career. He's trying to go viral. He's got this YouTube channel now, which a lot of the guys that got fired from the legacy channels, they're finding their way on YouTube and whatever. Yeah, they all do. And because they already have a following, they could be relatively successful online. Yeah. So he's building his channel and his brand.
And he has more leniency on what he can do.
So whether it's right or wrong, he don't care. And this is like a lot of YouTubers, right?
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong, or more, if it could get me a lot of views and get me a lot of followers, even if I'm not all the way cool with it, I'm gonna do it because I want the attention, right? In his case, he may go viral over doing this, and I'm willing to risk public scrutiny or even legal ramifications.
Absolutely.
Because that's where I'm at with it.
Right. This is what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right. Yeah. So in that regard, I get it. I understand it. Still, come on, man. It's not. And I'm not a big. People who know me know I'm not a big religious person. Okay. But I respect people's sanctuaries.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, whether I believe it or not is immaterial. If that's your place of worship and that's your place of sanctuary, then I ain't messing with it.
I was, I'm with you, and actually was surprised it went that far. But I'm one that's very open to see and listening to both sides to get to the actual what is going on, truth. I think Don Lemon was kind of, I would agree, he was out of line.
It was cheesy, man. It was cheesy.
I grew up in the Catholic church. So through middle school, elementary school through middle school and junior high, I was in Catholic school. So that kind of stuff, what is this camera person coming up in church for? You don't do that. But on his side, I'm trying to understand what his goal was and trying to accomplish. Okay, I get it. Did you break laws? No. Did you break a policy?
Well, see, that's the other side of it, not to cut you off. the trouble side he found himself in, which was heavy-handed, which was the Trump administration. They tried to get judges, federal judges, to prosecute, and they wouldn't. So they found another way to do it, which is kind of trumped up, because there's really no law. There is one law I forget what it's called, but it ties back to what I was telling you earlier. You can't go into somebody's private thing. There's a law that's I forget what the name of it is. They talked about it anyway. So you can there's a federal law against that, and it ties into black churches and
was that
for us. It always ties back to something.
The Fourth Amendment, entering private property.
No, that's search and seizure. I'm sorry. Yeah. This one is like you can't go into like into somebody's personal home or whatever or
place of worship.
And place of worship and things like that. So anyway, the whole point of it is that they're trying to come up with some trumped up charges to federally charge him, and then not just him. He just happened to be the biggest name there.
Yeah.
There's a group of people that they're
going after.
Yeah, they're just trying to make their life hell. They go pay a lot of money with lawyers and this and that. And
my personal view, all that is just to keep us distracted from what they're doing.
It's a distraction. It's a distraction.
So when do we continue to, as a whole, and I say this to my friends who are Trump supporters, when do we start coming together as a whole and see that this administration ain't no different from previous administrations?
I think. Listen, man.
Stop focusing on the distractions.
Yeah, but let me say this about this. So you're up my alley right now.
Ooh, yes, sir.
It goes back to my analogy about the McDonald's thing. There are regular people like you and I who don't care about. They want the distraction if it's serving their purpose. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who identify with the administration's direction and goals and values. I don't think they have any real values that are tied to the people, but they will make, as long as I can make you think I got values that are tied to you, then I got you, right? LBJ said that. So people they're bought and sold and they're hardwired. So if they look around the country or they look around the world and see a bunch of hurt people, they don't care, because that's their guy, that's their people.
Sure.
He said he was going to do X, Y, and Z that I care about, and it can go the same way on the other side.
So are we in a vicious cycle?
Well, a cycle, is. I just think today, because of our technology, and there are some things that are different today versus back in the day. Mm-hmm. I think it is a little different, but in a sense, it really isn't. These things have been played out every cycle since our country has.
Its inception.
Since its inception. Yeah. You know about the Federalist Papers, right?
Yeah.
So, there's always been an argument about what direction this country needs to go in, and you've had a contingent of people on this side and a contingent of people on this side. The thing that's different today is that all the shenanigans and the illegal stuff, people are saying, "Who go check me, boo?" You know what I'm saying? You could have, unless you were an insider, regular citizens, they kind of sense that, rumor about this and that, but you never put your hand, you never really seen the proof and this and that.
Sure. Nowadays,
it's different. It's like, okay, the files are out. Yeah, X, Y, Z, this and that. I'm still congressman. I'm still this. I'm still that. I'm still head of this. Who go check me, boo? I think that's the biggest difference now. People don't care because you don't get punished. If I'm not gonna get punished, who cares if I'm if I had two dudes in the I got caught on video at the Diddy party. I'm congressman from Alabama. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I know whoever the Congress is for Alabama. Just he's
talking about that new congressman run. His name is Todd Schuler.
Right, Todd P. Schuler. North Carolina. But I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And people who, that's my guy, they're willing to deflect and turn the other cheek. I mean, turn the other way and act like it didn't happen or downplay it.
Right.
Whereas back in the past, and contemporary people may not really understand this, but like Reagan and before, think about it.
Yeah.
Big differences, big chasm, but if somebody, did something wrong or whatever, you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's not like that. Oh, I need that Congress. I need that congressman. I don't care if he was caught in the bathroom in a rest stop, with his butt cheeks up. We need that vote.
You and that backdooria, man.
Because y'all like that backdooria stuff, man. I know you and Toppy Schuler. What's up, Toppy Schuler? Diddy will be home in the summer, player.
Woo! I told you I wasn't gonna go. I got it out the way in the beginning, T. That's all him. But
by the way, have we heard of Toppy Schuler? Where is he really? I'm just asking. Anyway, we can go on with the show.
Is that really Todd P. Schuler? The name don't match. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a government name.
He got one of my peoples to hook him up. I got you, T. I see you.
Shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I think is going on now. I mean, a whole bunch of other crap is going on. But
so, do you feel that then, in saying that we as the general public have gotten soft and not willing to?
I think we're apathetic. We just some of us is like we
don't care, right?
I don't think we don't care. It's that people feel hopeless. Like, for example, let me give an example, and maybe this is just my thing. 2.5 years or 3 years ago, everybody was complaining about the prices.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the marker for me to gauge prices is gas. Mm-hmm. For other people, it might be something else. Sure. But gas is, because transportation and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. That goes up, then everything else got to go up, right? So we're paying astronomical amounts from previous years pre-COVID on this gas. Everybody was there. We know about it. So what was the other side saying? Cost of living is too high. Yeah. Economy is saying he's messing out. And the price of gas is this and that.
Yeah.
Gas has not gone down.
No. It's actually
gone. Do you hear anybody saying, "Oh, what happened to the?"
Right.
Nobody's saying anything. I'm like, no. Are you kidding me? Like, we're paying more for stuff, and they say, "Oh, well, it's because tariffs, or it's because of this." Oh, just be patient. They know what they're doing.
Right.
And I'm not taking a side here. I'm just saying, for the sake of the argument.
Absolutely.
Y'all ain't mad? That's your boy. You ain't mad. You should be mad.
Absolutely.
Because he promised something to you, and then he did a 3-card money on you and told you, oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of the tariff. Now we're in another situation. And that's making the gas prices going to go up again. And if anything in the world happens, if somebody stumped their toe or sneeze, the prices go up now.
Yeah.
And I think we just became, for the most part, those of us who hear it are an explosion every 5 minutes like me, are just apathetic and just like, what you gonna do?
Keep fighting?
Well, but you have to have, again, if I use a principle to reel you in and say that they're the enemy, what did that one guy say 100 years ago, that one millionaire? He said, I could hire one half of the poor population to kill the other half. I'm sorry, I don't forget the name of the guy. He was some kind of steel baron or something like that.
Okay.
But if a principle you have, immigration, gender stuff, whatever it is, abortion, because those are the biggies right now, right? And that's your only gripe in life. That's the only thing you focus on. There's a billion things to contend with in the world in your life, but that's the one thing that's grinds your gears.
Right.
And I'm for it. And another person is against that or for that, whichever one. I got you. So anything else that happens on that end, everything else, you don't care.
It don't matter. Yeah.
You know? So I don't understand how, and I think some people do understand it. That some people understand it. It's just that they have an agenda too.
Would you
like the media?
Would you say that people, and I speak as in the sense of for the and with the people, do you feel that there's a huge level of cognitive dissonance?
There's some cognitive dissonance. The other part of it, unfortunately, I hate to say this, I really thought a lot about this. People are just ignorant to what's going on.
Is that people or Americans?
People. We keep saying Americans because we are Americans. We live here day to day. We know more about the inner workings of what's going on.
I don't know.
But if you go, the people in Europe are the same in European politics. They're the same. You have regular citizens every day that's trying to figure out where their next job will come from or where they go eat at.
I'm talking about in the sense of being more aware and doing more for the change and demanding
they're
the change.
Not. They look at what's going on in their politics over there. And I'm not beating up on Europe. I'm just saying anywhere in the world. You pick anywhere in the world. People there are groups of people who are just totally ignorant to, and they just go along. Unfortunately, we go along as sheep. Some of us go along as sheep because we feel helpless. Some of us are distracted with just the day-to-day living. Other of us are just apathetic. We're like, you know what, these motherfuckers gonna do whatever they're gonna do. We have no control, like the food thing.
So how? And I was gonna kind of try and circle back and tie that in.
We tied it in, player.
So when do we decide to make that change?
But you keep saying we when the other side, some people don't see anything wrong. Is my point.
I say we as individuals because
but you can't as an individual. You can't as an individual.
I'm tying in nutrition. So you mean to tell me you as an individual can't decide to make that change knowing that Popeyes is not good?
For me? No, you mean for me?
Everybody in general. Like, so at what point do we start making some changes in the sense of playing the game? If the game is designed where, all right, we're just going to be a little apathetic and it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take control of certain parts of your life that you do have control over. One, most importantly, is your health.
Yeah.
So we complain about this, then third. Well, then make that sacrifice. Put that fucking cake down. Put that beer down. Don't get that for what does it take? 30 days to get rid of an old habit. 30 days to create a new habit. 45 days. I forget what the numbers are.
Yeah.
Do that. It's gonna take some sacrifice and uncomfortableness, right?
But the the caveat to that is you have to want to do it.
And I can't disagree with that because it's that saying: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink because you're thirsty and they're not.
If a person is happily drinking and happily eating whatever they want to eat, and they're 100 pounds overweight, and they're moving along in life just like you are, happy and everything, what do you tell that person until the day that, they have some kind of medical crisis or something like that? And
are you willing to wait till it gets to that point, or are you willing to be proactive?
That's the thing right there, because, and on top of that, I'll just add this. I've heard, well, not grossly obese people, obviously, but I've heard overweight people say that they just saw their doctor and their doctor said they're healthy.
Sure.
What are you going to do with that when you see a dude that's like 30 pounds overweight?
Sure.
And, hey, no hypertension. Hey, no this, no that. I'm good.
Can you look yourself in the mirror and say you're truly happy with how you look and feel?
Well,
feel most important. That would be a question I ask.
Yeah.
There was I used to work with this nonprofit organization that worked with the inner city youth, and Release the Fear, I believe it was called. One exercise they gave their kids was you go into a room with a mirror, quiet, at least I think it was like 3 to 5 minutes, and you look in your eyes and you say, I think it's like 5 or 10 things that you love about yourself, and they can't be physical.
Mm.
And I gave that to one of my clients years ago, And she said it was profound. I mean, she started crying because she's like, I never took that much time to sit there and look at myself and talk good things about myself.
Yeah.
Or even know anything good about me, right? I feel we struggled with that with the pandemic. You know, a lot of people were forced to stay within the confines and listen to their thoughts, as opposed to, I'm going to go and socialize and get away from this, or drink and suppress that thought. No, listen to yourself, because that's what you really are trying to avoid, and that's what you got to face. I tell myself that all the time. There's things I still struggle with from my youth that I look in the mirror and I want to face and overcome. Because once again, I want to be the best version first for myself. Right. Then for my girls. Right. And then for my family and friends around me. Absolutely. But everyone's I got to do for them first. No. What do they tell you when you get in the plane? Put your mask on first. Take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself first. What are you worrying about them all the time for? Because then you get pissed when no one is looking out for you, but you're looking out for everybody else. Yeah. Well, start with yourself first. Then you ain't got to worry about anyone taking care of you. Because then when someone does offer their support or assistance, whatever, help, I greatly appreciate it. You know, thank you. It's much more meaningful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And gratifying. Yeah. Well, I think I agree with you on that. I agree that we all should take a hard look at ourselves. The last time I did it, I cried for like 15, 30 minutes, but I was fine after that. Yeah. I think there's always something that we can improve about ourselves if we want to. We have to want to. Yeah. I can't disagree with that. You know? Yeah. And on that note, man, thank you so much, my brother. It's been a pleasure. It, good conversation, my man. Yeah. You have to talk to the Schuler, man. Find out what we can do to get you plugged in, man. Yeah, slowly. I mean, I enjoy our little shit talking stuff, but fitness extraordinaire. He's at Black Steel Fitness. You can see him here any day of the week. Awesome trainer, knows his stuff, and like I said about Black Steel Fitness all the time, very personable, very good with their clients, ranging from teenagers to elderly people. Come and check them out, man, if you're here in the Phoenix area. Come and see us, the heart of Arcadia, baby. We're going to work out, feel good, have some laughs, and enjoy life, baby. Absolutely. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know we're on. Ding. See you next week.